Hello, hello, friends. It is Tidy Up Tuesday. And welcome, Gina, Lisa, Janice, Carolyn. Oh my goodness, DKA. DKA. Love it. Laura's here. Mary's here. Woo! We are back again for Tidy Up Tuesday. I'm so glad to see you guys here. Thanks for joining me. This is my fourth part in a 5-part series for organizing our kids. And today is finally feeling a little bit like I'm actually making progress. And I can't wait to share it with you. So thank you all for joining. Mary's here. Mary S. and Mary B. and Bobby Ann, Victoria, Lorraine, Donna, Carrie. Woo, so great to see you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love seeing all your names, and I so appreciate you sharing your wisdom here in this awesome community, as well as, just making friendships, making connections with the people that are here, that are doing the same thing that we're doing. It's such a wonderful blessing to have this community. So thank you all for joining in. Okay, so today I just want to, if you're new here, tell me you're new. Say hello. Say new in the chat. And I'd love to just give you a big welcome. And then also, if you have any wondering how to find me, that's what I'm trying to say. If you're wondering how to try to find me, these are all my links, which are also in the description of this video. So if you're on YouTube, you just click the little more button below your video. And if you're on Facebook, it's in the description above the video. So got all my links there if you need to find things. And then also the products that I'll be talking about are also there. So I try to just give you that little snapshot of what we're working with today. And then you can just look at that and get to where you need to go. So good to see you guys. Sherry's here. Amy, Cindy, so good to see all of you. Okay, so today, this is part 4 in our series. And thank you so much for those hearts. I love seeing those float up. I love it. Thank you guys. So today is part 4, where we're actually going to do planning for getting our albums done, getting our kids organized. And so for me, planning is that critical part before the fun begins. And I was thinking today, we're getting our house painted. It's been, we can only do little things at a time. And as we go along, we're getting our house painted. And so what I've noticed, and, it's always this way, right? The prep is so much the prep. That is so important. So it's all the caulking, all the nails that, you have to countersink the nails, then you have to fill the nail holes, then you have to sand the filled nail holes, right? And you have to do all the taping of the windows, and you have to put up all the plastic and do all those things. And that is all prep before you can just get your sprayer and just spray. Oh, primer, you have to prime the house, right? So for me, this series has kind of been all the prep, just like painting, up until part 5, where we actually get to scrap. That's next week. So next week, I'll actually be scrapping here a little with you to show you how, some of these pages are coming together. But today, we've kind of done a lot of that kind of grunt work, right? Like the taping of the windows and the filling of the holes. We've done all of that. So now we can really get an idea what's left. And how do we want to scrap that? How do we want to put that in our books? So I'm going to switch over to my overhead camera and just share something. Oh, but before I do that, I just want to give a shout out to Pam V, if you're here. I'm not sure if you're here. She sent me a picture. We were talking about memorabilia last week, right? Like all the ways you can store memorabilia, and she sent me this great picture this morning. And I'm not sure if this is something she found or if it's something that she has in her house. So Pam, if you're here, let us know. But I wanted to share it with you. I'm like, I've got to share that. So here's another option if you have the space. Now, the thing is, I don't have a whole lot of wall space in my house. I would love to do this. And it's so much fun. And if you had like a playroom or an upstairs place or, just kind of something fun, this would be an awesome way for memorabilia. So check this out. Isn't that awesome? So it's a whole wall dedicated to some pretty awesome kids artwork. And you can see this looks like it's kind of maybe on a landing area or something, but it's got a nice light on it. Isn't that fun? So it looks like, there's, I don't know if these are all laminated or if I was thinking at first, maybe there's plexiglass over it or something, but isn't that kind of cool? It's just like a gallery wall of memorabilia and artwork. So here's the thing I think is pretty cool. We've always known with our kids, and this is, one of the main reasons I think a lot of us scrapbook is that when they see themselves, when they see their work featured, they feel important, right? They feel important. And when a kid feels important, that boosts their self-image, that boosts their confidence, that just does all kinds of amazing things for them. And so if we can find a way to celebrate each of our kids individually, kids, grandkids, whoever you're working on, that just does so much more than feed our heart for scrapbooking. It feeds their heart for just being loved and cherished and being an important person. So the more we celebrate in life, the more there is to celebrate, right? That's one of Oprah's famous quotes. And so I love that. And I think it's so true. All right, so let me get back over to my overhead camera. I see some of you. So Pam said she's here. Thank you, Pam, for sending that. That was so awesome. She said it's not hers, a friend we saw over the weekend in New York. Hallway and kitchen, some laminated, some not. Her kids are in their 30s and late 30s. But look at that. She still has that up on the wall. Isn't that fun? Yes, I love it. Thank you for sharing that, Pam. That was so, so sweet. And you are new to the live stream, so thank you for hopping on. I love it. But Pam and I, we've chatted for a while now. Not new to me, but new here probably. So I love it. Thank you for sharing that. So let's talk about where I am now in part 4, which is planning, planning, planning. And where we've come from and now kind of, now what's next. So one of the things that we're going to talk about today is how we've organized, how to get our pictures organized, and also the album map, how to get our album map going. And with that, we also have memorabilia. So we have talked about last week how to take that memorabilia and get a handle on it, right? And that we talked about too much special is just really not special, right? So we have to be the curators. I really believe that. At least that's what works for me. I have to curate the things and take the time to do that to get a better idea of what is truly meaningful. Now, sometimes we get some hints from the teachers, like my son Adam had an amazing first grade teacher. She was a good friend. And so she sent this home. And so this is one of my absolute favorites. So when you say what's special, this is special. Adam is tall. You open it up. Ellen is taller than Adam. So he was working on taller and tallest. John is tallest. And then Becky put a star on there. And she just said on the back, Lauren, this is a keeper. I'm sorry I put a star on it. But she was always, just an amazing teacher, looking out, had great relationships with parents. But that is truly special. And I agree, it is a keeper. So, you know, as far as having curated down the amount of memorabilia, now I just want to also mention what I've done is just taken a chunk to share with you guys today. So this is just finishing up first grade because that's where I had left off in his school album, and then kind of sharing the process on how I'm going to move forward. So memorabilia is down to a very manageable chunk. Can you guys see that? Not very much. I may still curate this a little bit more when I get to actually putting the pages in and checking out my album map. And then I just want to share where, you know, kind of where I got this. Now, I put this right here to remember to tell you about a very fun little hack that that I did. And I think we talked about this last time about having a little Post-it notes. And I was thinking, oh gosh, should I make this bigger so that Post-it notes could fit on here? But then that would just throw off, like, I don't even know how many pages I could put on here. And then I thought, oh, well, I can cut down the Post-it notes. So if you cut, these squares are actually 1.5-inch squares. So if you take just, you know, 3 or 4 sheets of Post-its at a time, like just from a little cube, pop it on your personal trimmer, friends, and go over to the 1.5 mark right here. And, you know, it's Post-it, so it's kind of going to stay in place, right? It's on there. And then just cut it, lift it up, turn it, and you're going to cut 1.5 inch again right here. So you get a little bit of waste. That's okay. I'm good with that. And now I have these perfect little squares that fit the album map. You guys, look at that. So I just cut a bunch and I stuck them up here in the corner. So that's my little hack for you today for using your Post-its with the album map, because some of this was already done in the book, but now I'm getting to the point where I have to start making decisions on the rest of his pages. So let me show you what that means. So let me get this in here and a fold out of a page in his album. A page in his album. That's not what it's called. Oh, creative. I'm not sure. Fold out. Not sure what that is. Yeah, there. You know, you can do fold. Ta-da! Fold out. Okay, so I think I missed something. Oh yeah, his little, yes, the little accordion thing is definitely going to be a fold out. Yes, in his album, because that is a keeper, as his first grade teacher said. Definitely a keeper. I love it. Okay, so when, sorry, there's a cord right here. Let me just get to where I want to share, let's see, yeah, Halloween. Okay, so what I ended up doing, I'm just kind of made an arrow, like this is a continuation of back here, you know, all these pages. And then I went to the first 2-page spread where I could kind of give a little overview. Oh, and you're going to have to excuse me today. I have been sneezing. I don't know, something is in the air and I just cannot stop sneezing today. So, okay. Halloween is here. I'm sure I understand. No, not you, Siri. Then the next, and then you're probably going, why do you have this in here, Lord? It's kind of like, it just looks like, well, if you looked closely, it says Big Colorful Candy by Adam. And then there's a writing sample. And he talks about why he painted this photo and that it was in relation to Halloween. So that's why it's here next to Halloween. So what I want to mention here too is that, you know, there's kind of 2 ways you can look at memorabilia. You can put memorabilia in your albums for our kids, which is kind of the way I've done it, with the thing near the pictures and the, you know, time of year. So what do I mean by that? So here's the kindergarten pet show, and here's the little what do you call them, ribbons that he got for that. But then what's most precious, actually I should just tuck this in here, is Adam drawing pet show, right? So and his cute little drawing, which is next to the pet show page. So that's one way you can kind of combine, but it does break up your pages, which again is why it's so key to plan, to have a plan and really write it out, so you can kind of see it first. So sometimes what I'll do is when I know I have a breakup, then I'll like stick a few more things in on that page, and then do like a miscellaneous page on the back side of that. Okay, so that's how I've had his pages set up so far, so that in between some pages are these smaller pages. Like this is the first grade schedule, there's his teacher, different things. So you can put those pages of memorabilia in between, or you can put them all at the end of your grade. So it's totally a personal choice, right? So whatever you feel you would be easiest for you. This is a little more difficult to kind of keep breaking things up. If it's easier for you to just go, okay, this is the end of first grade, and so at the end of first grade, I'm going to put all his, curated things, that would be totally fine, right? Yeah. Okay. Fold out pages. Yes. Yeah. We do the fold out pages. In fact, I have some of those in Audrey's book. And I will, in fact, maybe remind me to get her book when I show you all the types of pages, because that would be a good thing to show. In fact, you know what? I'm just going to grab her book, and then I'll remember to share those pages that I did for her with the fold out. Okay, so let me just pop this over here, because I'm going to share the different types of pages that you can add to your album as well. So I have Halloween, and then I have after that I have a thankful, a special thing that he wrote of why he was thankful, and then that goes into Thanksgiving, okay, and Generations Day, which was something we did every year. We invited grandparents to come, and then the kids would have them introduce them. That's Adam introducing his grandma, and then share something about them. So like this year, actually in his memorabilia was I found like he interviewed his grandma right here. So I kept that as part of his memorabilia because that goes along with this. So, when I've looked at what the things are that I've decided to keep, so now this is something that I could actually tuck in, since this is kind of memorabilia-ish area. And then I go, okay, so then I know that goes along with this, rather than perhaps sticking it in between these two pages, which would kind of break up the continuity here. So I know I can, just add that in as some memorabilia, because I know that's something that I wanted to keep. So we have Generations Day, then I have 2 pages, and the little checks mean that it's just already in the album. Not finished, but the pages are accounted for. So then there's Christmas, and then I started, and then some more Christmas memorabilia. And again, some of the special things like the Christmas performance, they actually chose some of Adam's artwork for the program. So he drew this really cute snowman with buttons going all the way up, right? And so they, different kids they put different kids' artwork on the program, and so they gave him a little shout out, which was very special. Like he didn't normally get recognized and stuff, so that was definitely something to keep, a keeper, right? A special. So as well as his hands that he traced for his antlers. So those things are already accounted for in here. And sometimes I'll just tuck them in. That may not be the finished product. You know, I might do a little better job at displaying that. And then I have this page. So basically what I've said right here is, okay, I have a blank page here because I have memorabilia and different things here. And then I have another page over here. So just naturally, this kind of splits things up. So this is where I'm saying kind of in this process of putting memorabilia in between, these sometimes kind of have to feel like maybe different categories. So what I decided, I have some miscellaneous photos that are going to go here, and then I'm going to start Valentine's here. Now, before I move on, I just want to say, you know, I could not do this process. It just doesn't make sense to me to look at how to put the album map together and how to integrate the memorabilia until I have done my photo folders. And I know you guys probably have heard me say this a million times, but nothing to me makes more sense until I categorize them, look at the photos, separate them out, and then put them in their little photo folders. So that's what I did with Adam's chunk of photos, is I put them into groups. So I have in here, I found a group of photos from January, Pinewood Derby. Now remember, I talked about how I'm going to have a scout book. Sorry guys for the reach. The scout book right back here. So I'm actually going to take those because I know I'm not going to need them in his school book, and I'm going to put them into first grade scouts back here because this section back here is for his scout pictures. So right off the bat, I've already taken that out. And now I have left these photos. So I have his 7th birthday, which was February. I have Valentine's, and then I actually found some miscellaneous photos, just some fun photos of him, especially like when we got frost in the front yard, and a picture of his room, and just some miscellaneous cute little photos that I thought possibly could just be filler, right? They were during the year. And then these are the school Valentine photos that I have. So that's Valentine's would actually come first, then his birthday. So see, right, already I can take my photo folders and just start organizing them. Then I had these really awesome black and white photos that I took of Adam, which I absolutely love. Now, this is something that I would have to make a decision and go, is this could be a 2-page spread easily, but they are pictures I absolutely love of Adam. Now, do I want to put that in his school book, or is this something, now that I've done that planning, what we did last week, to put in his personality, you know, kind of that generational looking, or not generational, but across years personality. This might be a really good category, a really good set of photos for that. Or, you know, once I do my map, I might go, no, I think I have room for those. Then I have a play that he was in, but I made a note here that I only have 3 pictures of this play. So like that could also be a contender to go opposite memorabilia, because I only have a few pictures to talk about this play. And maybe that's also something I just, you know, kind of want to group with something else. So I have March, April, you guys get it. Then we have Easter, some more kind of play pictures of him outside. Then I have a first grade field trip, and then I have summer photos, and there's a blank. Okay, so I've kind of categorized all of the rest of the pictures of first grade into this little pile. So I can then really have a good understanding. I have my memorabilia, I have my photos of how many pages I have left to go. Okay, so I do know I have right now where I'm looking, miscellaneous and Valentine's. Those are pretty easy to know I want to put in here. And then I have the next 2 pages, right, are blank. So this is where I really get going on my album map. So I have, oh, there's my other pencil. Okay, so I have Valentine's and miscellaneous. That one's accounted for on my map. Then the next one is his birthday. Okay, and I know that because I have peekaboo pockets and all sorts of things, I can keep that to a 2-page spread. So now I'm going to put that, let me zoom out a little bit so you can see. So now I can put that in my little pod, and I have his birthday. So then that's where it comes down to, ooh, black and white photos. Well, I'm not sure, but I'm going to say black and white pics. Okay, and then I'm going to use my Post-its now and put that down. And that would be for 2 pages. And then, okay, so I can put that in my pod. Now the next one. Ooh, the play. Now I only have 3 pictures. Okay, let me put that on a Post-it because I'm kind of not sure where I might put that. And I'm just going to put the number 3 on there so I remember. So I'll put it here for now, but I might end up moving that. Now I have Easter. Oh, Easter could easily kind of take up 2 pages, right? I have enough photos. I look on here and I go, yep, he made colored eggs and, you know, did the egg hunt and so forth. So that could be, again, a 2-page. So right now I'm just going to put it over here and put the arrow so that I know that's a 2-page spread. Then next I have miscellaneous outside. Okay, so I have some really great pictures, fun pictures of Adam. This is April. This was, let's see, what did I say that was? March, April. Oh, this was April also. So now maybe I know that, oh, okay, I have the miscellaneous. Maybe that would be kind of good to go with the play. So I can put miscellaneous pics right here. Okay, so that kind of fills up that 2-page spread. My next folder is the first grade field trip. So this is kind of when school was winding down and they always did a really big field trip. So this was kind of fun. And that would be a 2-page spread. Okay, so let me get this. Let me grab another Post-it. And I'm going to put this here. And again, field trip. And then this would be a 2-page spread. So I'm going to put an arrow. And then basically I'd have to go on the computer and I know I have last day of school pics, but I couldn't find any printed. So, you know, last day pics. Usually I like to kind of put those in because I have the first day and then the last day, and then maybe on this side, I might want to pull in some summer photos, right? Because now I know I have some of those, and that might be a nice 2-page spread to end first grade, is last day of school and then summer. Okay, let me grab one more here. So then now I know I have my summer pics. And it would just be a few, you know, just to kind of highlight what we did. Okay, so now I have gone through my whole little stash. Like I said, the only thing I may want to do is find, you know, I'm sure I need to go through, see if there's any other photos, but I've already now determined from where I left off, which was Christmas, these were in there, that I have 1 2-page spread here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more 2-page spreads. So now what I can do, the way I have it laid out, right? So then that means this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't even have enough pages. 6, I'd have to put 2 more pages in here. So basically now what I'm seeing is that I am not going to be able to finish first grade until even 2 more pages from this. And that means, let's see, when did first grade start? Right here. So here's kindergarten, here's first grade, a couple more pages. I may be able to squeeze second grade in here, but it's going to be a pretty thick book. So now I can go back and look at my album map and say, okay, do I want the black and white pictures? Because I can technically, say that could go somewhere else. Or maybe that could go with miscellaneous photos, and it could be just like some of my absolute favorites that go here. And maybe the play can go up here. And maybe instead of last day, this is miscellaneous and last day photos. So if I wanted to, look at how I've just deleted a whole bunch of pages. Easter, I'm going to save black and white photos. I have the field trip. I have kind of last day and just kind of maybe like the wall Pam showed me, I shared on there, like just a general wall of, just some of the favorite pictures of him of first grade. And then maybe, that's how I end. And then summer photos. So that's the beauty of planning beforehand, right? So now what I've done is taken it down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages instead of 7. So I've eliminated 2 2-page spreads. And I still have the black and white photos. I'm not going to not use those. But like I said, I could just take one fantastic picture out of there and just do my feature picture page here. So to me, this actually feels a little better than, again, that whole thought of I have to put all the photos in here. Okay, so I could even put this here just to remind me, look at those black and white photos, look at the miscellaneous photos, look for last day of school, and then make a whole, feature page here. Maybe it is all combined with summer photos. Okay, so that is why I really, really enjoy planning first. And then the idea of the Post-its, of course, just really help you move things around until, you get them where you want them to be. And once you're happy with that, you can either leave the Post-its or you can write them on your plan, on your album map. Okay, so let's talk a little, let me check the chat, see if you have any questions on that. But I hope that helps kind of share how I use the photo folders, critical, the album map, critical, and then curating our memorabilia to a really manageable portion. And then how do we integrate that in our books? So let me put this aside, and I'm going to share those different kinds of pages. And then let me see if you have any questions on that too. Okay. All right. So Tamara, oh, your first time here. Yes. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. The writing explaining the picture and the art is then right next to each other. Could you make the black red picture and the write out as a double page? Yeah, absolutely. So that is why, there's a lot of different ways that you can kind of look at how to put these pages in your book. So, yeah, you can, Mara, you can always catch the replay. It's easiest to catch it on YouTube, because as soon as the stream is over, you can go back to the beginning and rewatch it. But you can either on Facebook or on YouTube. They stay there. And I have a playlist on YouTube, so you can actually just go from one to the next to the next. So this is the fourth in the series. Okay, so that is the process, which I just, it makes so much sense to kind of go through things that way. So then the next thing I wanted to kind of just touch base on today is the types of the product. Okay, so that was the process, the product. So how can we do that? How can we get things in our book? So I know I've shared this book many times with you. This is Audrey's school book. Again, very same idea where I've actually included pages. I've included peekaboos on those pages just to add in more photos and different things. So there's so many ways that you can include artwork and different things in your books. So let's see, where is it? I wanted to make sure I shared, and then of course this is old size, so there were pockets we could use back then as well because it was the old size. Now you can make your own with the peekaboo pockets and different things. Okay, so let me find the fold out page, and you can see these books are packed with kid stuff. Here it is. Here's one. So this was a page I did when Audrey was playing softball, and they did this fun little Sports Illustrated and put their photo on it, and player of the year, right? So, and then this was her team name. So I put that down. So this is actually a shorter page, and I created this shorter because I kind of wanted to highlight this 8 by 10 photo. So I cut the page down and then just glued that down to the page on the bottom so that this is a flip out. And it's fun because then it gives you more room here to do the flip out page, right? So I think that's what we were talking about before, where like if you want to, you can do this page any size. You could do it completely to cover. In fact, I had one of those. Where did I put that one? Let's see. Is it here? I think I shared on one of the lives. Let's see how you can just take one page. I like to do them where the jeeping is on the just on the inside. Let me see. Where did I put that page? Now I can't find it. Is this it? Oh, you guys get it. It's the same thing. I put it somewhere safe. It's the same idea, except it's a full page. So this jeeping ends up over here. And then you cut the jeeping off the other side with the brackets. Use your trimmer to give a score, and then just use your strong photo tape or something like that. Okay, so yeah. Oh, this album cover is, yes, this is old company. This is actually the smaller size as well, the Premiere. So yeah, it was from a while ago. Okay, I don't remember if I did another fold out in here, but that's the idea for adding those fold outs. But remember, you can also add peekaboos to pocket pages, right? So there's all kinds of things that you can do. Here's another one. It's like I wanted to have a space for journaling, and I wanted to have a picture for the classroom, but I wanted Audrey to be the star of this one. And again, here's the artwork on this page right next to the pictures that I have from school. So let's see. I think that's same idea. So what you'll see in here as I'm kind of flipping through are these smaller pages. So that's what I want to talk about next is these larger pocket pages, the smaller pages, and what do we have at our fingertips to kind of add things in to create our albums. So I brought out all the different size pages here. So we can kind of go over what are all those little goodies that you can add in when maybe you don't have a 12 by 12 that you need to put in. So from all the different pages, we have all of the pages that have the brackets. I called these staples here brackets that line up in the same place so that they'll actually fit in the 12 by 12 album are the happy album. And sometimes people forget about the happy album. So this is a very small format page. And this is, let's see, it's a 6 3/4 by 9, I think is the way this comes out, right? 6 3/4 by 10, something like that on the inside. So if you have something really small, this does hold a couple 4 by 6s. Let me see if I can grab a photo here. Right. So if you have a 4 by 6, just a couple photos that you want to add of just, if like the play, if I just wanted to do the play, I could add in a page like this and it wouldn't be a whole 12 by 12 adding that much bulk. So the happy album size, the brackets all line up. You can add those in a 12 by 12 album. We also have the 8.5 by 11 side loading pocket pages. And these come with the white inserts so that you can use both sides. So you could put photos on one side and memorabilia on the other. But then again, you don't have to, these are great for certificates. You don't have to take up the whole page. And kind of like you saw in Audrey's book, you get a glimpse of what's under the page. Let me see if I can find one in here. So like here, this is a smaller sleeve and it was kind of finishing up her indoor soccer. And this was her soccer team and part of the banner. Everybody, they cut out her name. So I just stuck it in her album. And then the next side, on this side, was her little black cat she drew for Halloween, her little artwork, and then the Halloween pictures. So you can do something like that, but you get to see underneath because it's not covering the whole thing when you use a smaller sleeve inserted. Okay, so that's the 8.5 by 11 size. And again, everything lines up because the brackets are in the same place. And then, of course, we have multi-pocket pages that you can add in your album. So say, you have a lot of pictures. Maybe your child was in sports and you want to include sports in their album and there were just so many great photos there. This is a great way to just add in a lot of photos into your album. And then, of course, the 12 by 12 full pocket pages, which is where you could put memorabilia. They're top loading. Some people also just use these exclusively for the entire album and don't use the traditional scrapbook page. So you can use any of these mixed in with your book, as well as the Fast to Fab pages, right? So I ended up ordering one of the composition books, and I'm actually going to use this for a different project, not for my kids, but for either my husband or myself, because it kind of feels fun and kind of retro for that. I'm keeping my kids in red books for school. But I wanted the refill pages because I thought, well, I want to see these and see how user-friendly they are. And just by flipping through, you can see they are pretty universal, like they're not dedicated to a certain grade, which if you kind of remember, well, this one kind of is because it has some cursive, but if you remember the old school days pages, it was like some of it had fingerprints and some had crayons, and then they, it kind of progressed, but it was very, kind of age specific. And I like the fact that this is, for the most part, not age specific. So you could use these pretty much anywhere. Now, in addition, so, and, I don't know that I'd use it the way it's all set up. Because again, I'd put memorabilia in between, or maybe I'll use this side and, put a blank page and then continue this somewhere else. So that's one option as well. Or you could just use it as it is and then insert different types of pages. And then the products we have, and this is where it's going to get fun. And I have a whole bin. So what I ended up doing, because this was taking up a lot of room, school stuff was taking up a lot of room on the cubbies behind me, I ended up pulling it and putting it in a pod. And this is the polka dot. You guys, these are coming back in December. So if you missed it, no worries. They're coming back. And then I have all of my school stuff in here. So I have my Power Project folders in here, and all of these older collections, as well as some of the more recent collections. But all of it is in here, including graduation. And like I still have, I think, the Book Smarts. Do you guys remember when that came out? That collection. Book Smart. So there's some lasers in there and different things. So I just grouped it all here so that I could kind of take a look at all of my product together. Now, some of this is old school. Okay. Well, let me first start out. So this is actually some of the paper that's available that goes along with the theme of the FastaFab that I shared with you. And some of them are the designed with the grades on them, which is really great if you want to, use these titles to kind of start a section. So that's all up for grabs. You can see they've got first grade, second grade, and so forth. And then they also have the designer paper pack with all of the different school themed papers in here, all double-sided, really kind of fun. And it goes along with the FastaFab pages really nicely. In addition, remember they have all of those fun additions, the tabs, the what you call it? Oh, let's see, where are they? I stuck them in here. I thought, well, they've got. Let me pull out my pouch. They've got the matte pack. They had some layered embellishments. Those are gone now. They have the stickers. They have the collegiate stickers, which now they have all those different colors of the collegiate stickers. And so, you can just kind of keep all of it. And then they have all the little individual embellishment packs for themes. And can't remember where I stuck those. And then they also have building bricks for Lego pages. And so it goes on and on. Let me see if I should have tucked those embellishments in here. Okay, so for choices, can't see where I put those. Oh, is this it? No, that's not it. Should be on my tray. So for paper choices, we have so many things. And then I am probably going to pull in, as I mentioned, some of my old school. Some of you guys will get a kick out of this, right? Remember Primary? Remember Primary and Cheerful, the power palette? So I still have those as well, which I think is great because to me, some of the pattern, the bold patterns might not work, but the colors for the most part to me are just really still primary, the bright schoolish colors. So even if you have some of these older collections, I think you could blend them in with some of the newer ones. Okay, so you can see some of those crossovers. You guys remember those? Like those were giant patterns. But then some were really cute. Like I love the plaid over here. I don't think I'd use this anymore, but I'd cut that down and then maybe, put something else on there. So still a lot to go through. That's cute. Remember those numbers. Pull them out, get them out, and then decide what you want to add to your kids' pages. Okay, so little trip down memory lane with these. And that's why you see in some of my kids' books, some of these older collections, because that's when I started way back. And sometimes I like to pull those out and just, kind of finish up with those themes that I started with. Okay, so let me pop over, see if you have any questions. So this is what's available now, all the back to school stuff. And yep, yeah, remember the primary and cheerful can blend them in. Yeah. Sherry says, will the new Happy Planner pocket pages fit into a 12 by 12? Yes, because the jeeping will be in the very same place. So those new pages have to fit the Happy album. So those brackets are going to be in the very same place. And that would be another, I don't have those in my hands yet, but that would be another type of page, right? And that just has 2 sleeves on each side. So that would be 4 pictures. And then there's like that little strip in between that you could add some journaling or something cute in there. So great question. Yeah, those will definitely fit in the 12 by 12. Okay, so any other questions for kind of how to get the planning process done? So really we talked about planning and then we talked about product. So next week, what we get to do is actually pull this out. Now that I have my album map finished, the only thing I need to do is figure out from my little limited supply of memorabilia still where that's going to fit in here as well. And I could always just add on my album map, like put in, like I know here on Adam's birthday, I have his invitation. So I could put an M on here to let me know that I have memorabilia, right? That I need to go grab his invitation. And then that's either going to go in a peekaboo pocket or something and be a part of this page. So easy to kind of add in the memorabilia that way, like go, okay, field trip, Easter, where do I want to add those miscellaneous pieces of artwork? Or is it going to go kind of in between here, between all the last day of school, then finish up with all his memorabilia and then summer picks. And then the next 2-page spread here is where he's going to start 2nd grade. Okay, so I already know this is the beginning of 2nd grade, these 2 pages. Okay, so hopefully that was helpful and you can kind of wrap your head around it. I know sometimes it's hard to get that big picture kind of focused in and go, well, how do I actually make it happen? How do I actually scrap these pages, right? That's the whole idea. So I wanted to give you a little chunk, show you kind of where I am. And then for grade 2, it's just the same thing, going through the same process, getting that memorabilia down to a manageable portion. And then I should say that the extra memorabilia, you can keep in these 12 by 12 scrapbook sleeves if you want, and just keep it in that giant red notebook or keep it in a box or, in a pod, whatever works for you. And then that would be either something that you keep or you give to your child at whatever time to say, hey, this is what I have left over. You get to decide whether you want to keep it or whether you want to let it go. And then there's no guilt for us, right? So, whatever doesn't make it, again, take that extra time to decide how that's going to be treated, even though it's not in an album. And then keep moving on. The next grade, second grade, then third grade, then fourth grade. And you just keep tackling it until we're done. That's my plan. So hopefully that helped you as well. Okay. Any other questions? And thank you all for joining in now. Any other questions before I wrap up? I see. Let's see. Shirley has a question. Do the various tonal collections match up with these back to school? Ooh, that's a good question. And then Shannon has an off-topic question. Let me pop back over to the overhead and let's take a look at that. So I think some of the tonals would work. Let's see. I think I've got Totally Tonal Red. So let's take a look at the red. And it's a little brighter than this red, but it would definitely work if you wanted to pull in some of these patterns, and some of the stickers absolutely would work in here. And, some of these texture papers I think would be that would be great. You could look at that, would look really well. So I'd probably say the Totally Tonal Red, the Totally Tonal Blue, the Totally Tonal, maybe the Canary. I'm not sure. That might be a little light, but if you have them, definitely pull them out and you can kind of see how they would go. And I think the idea that CM has now is that they kind of do want more of their collections to go with each other, right? Here's Totally Tonal. Nope, that's not the right one. Pumpkin. Where is it? Here's Totally Tonal Pumpkin. You could see that would look really great for Halloween photos. So absolutely, that's my answer. Final answer. Bring those tonals in. Okay. Yes, and don't forget, I have photos on the printer to look at. In fact, I was thinking something I could do is actually remind myself would be to make a photo folder to go, let's see, digital pics of Adam. And so this would be 2006, right? So I could just do that, digital pics of Adam 2006, and put that in with my printed photos so that I could, in fact, I'd probably put it in the front so that it would be a reminder that I need to go into my computer and get those and then print the ones I want, pop them in here or pop them where they need to go, and then categorize that folder where I want it to be. But absolutely, always write it down. That's my thought. Always write it down. Okay, so let's see. Shannon has off topic. Any thoughts on the new secret box? Okay, so I finally found the hint on the new secret box. And it was a 6-pack of paper. There's a punch. There is a new paper album in it. A new type of pen, it said in there. Stickers. Exclusive stickers. And I can't remember what else. But I don't have it in my hands yet. Technically, I think it's supposed to come tomorrow because I did expedited shipping. I wanted to see. So yeah. But I don't have any other info on the secret box as yet. Okay. Preparation is so key. You have given us so many great tips. Oh, thank you, Mandy. Thank you. I hope that helps. And thank you for asking for those thumbs up. That really does make me feel good. Thank you so much. Okay. Yeah, and always make you, and if you miss some, absolutely, you could always add those QR codes. And I know some, we need to do a whole video, maybe a Friday night or something, on QR codes about how you can use those to add videos and all that fun stuff to your album. So definitely a topic worth coming back to. And I'm going to write that down, codes. Oh gosh, we have a lot to talk about. And if you enjoyed Debbie's Friday Night Scrapbooking, her hybrid album, I highly recommend you watch that video. It was pretty amazing seeing her whole album. And Debbie has also, she just texted me and said, hey, I've got another idea for a tidy up. So when this series is over, we can talk about how to organize digital files. Maybe that's also another topic too. So stay tuned. There's always more coming. And thank you again for joining me today and for tidying up our kids, finding out ways to organize them, right? That's always, it's a big project, but very, very worth it. Thank you so much. Oh, Peekaboo Pockets in the secret box. Thank you, Kathy. Yeah, Peekaboo Pockets too. Okay, so have a wonderful rest of your day. And don't forget, we'll be back with more fun coming your way. Croptoberfest is live. I've got a new card kit coming up. It should be live on Friday. So just all kinds of good things coming your way. So until I see you again, don't forget to take time to craft your joy. Bye for now.